This is part 3 of the Jakarta Standard Tag Library tutorial, where we will look at what else we can do with JSTL 1.2 tags, since this is the version that matches Jakarta Java Enterprise Edition 8, and we can run it on Tomcat 9 with OpenJDK 11. And this is the technology we use in our example code. The actual Jakarta JSTL specification that we will use will be for JSTL 2.0, which is part of the next Jakarta JEE 9 release. And this time we will also look at official Oracle documentation for custom tag creation. In our previous JSTL tutorials, we started looking at JSTL 1.2 tags, specifically internationalization and the database tag library. And we put the internationalization library tags to use in our example address database for charities. We did leave the database tag library for self-study. Now we are going to look at how to create our own custom tag libraries, and we will look at the existing XML Processing Tag Library. Creating custom tags will help us to simplify our JSP code, to encapsulate all the Java functionality into the custom tag, and to improve our overall code organization. When we look at the XML processing tag, we see it helps us for efficient XML handling. It is good with the transformations and manipulations of XML, and it enhances our data presentation capability in our JSP page. Now we are going to look at our course documentation using custom JSTL tags in our web applications. And we see we've got replacing Java code with JSP tags. So this is the overview of what we'll do. We'll start by creating a new project called Charity Custom Tags. In our web XML, we will disable embedded Java, and in our Maven POM, we will add the Apache Commons Lang dependency. Then we'll move on to creating our custom tags, and we'll create a format date tag in our tag library definition file, and we'll use the format date in our dates.jsp page. The implementation of the custom tag handler is format date tag. It is essentially an implementation of the Java tag support class. We override the doEnd tag and display a custom formatted tag. We utilize the tag support methods to interact with the JSP writer object and write data to the response. And then we copy the format date tag class and the Nicor Designs tag library definition file to our main project. Going over to Eclipse now, and first looking at our Maven POM file, we see that it's more or less a duplication of our existing POM files, except for the new Commons Lang dependency. Then we look at our web.xml, and we see that we have disabled embedded Java. And now we are going to look at our tag library definition files. And here is the Nicor Designs tag library definition file. And here we have the format date defined, the class that will implement it, the description, the name required, and then basically all the attributes, date, time or both, default value, another default, custom format, and a scope variable. And then, of course, let's look at the implementation class. We have getLocale and getTimeZone method. We have the constructor, the initializer, and here is the implementation of the tag. Here is our format date method. We have a couple of overloaded formatting date methods for each of the different ways we want to display the date. We have getLocale, getTimeZone, and more related implementation methods, and our enum of all our formatting styles. To reiterate, the doEnd tag method is the one that actually displays the tag, and we have used the tag support to interact with the JSP files. It's a good idea to review the tag support with all the detailed documentation. Let's review the index servlet, and we see what we have here. We've mapped it to the URL/index. We have a default view of hello. If we get a parameter named dates, we set the attributes for date, calendar, and instant, and we set the view to dates. And we've also implemented a text parameter tag. So here we set the view to text, and then we forward it to the parameterized view. We are now ready to run our custom tags web app. Run on server. And here is our hello template page. So let's pass in some parameters. Dates. And here we have all the date formats, and we can see the language is still set to Afrikaans. And we've also implemented some text. And here is a short text and a long text. This wraps up our custom tag definition review. As you've noticed, there is a lot to cover here, and a lot has to be left to deep dive self-study. Going back to our course documentation, we also have using the XML Processing Tag Library, and the documentation is essentially a good overview on how to apply the XML Processing Tag Library with links to the Jakarta 2.0 Tag Library specification for flow control actions, for transforming XML with XML transform actions. And in the review, XML is starting to be replaced by the newer formats like JSON and YAML. But there is still a lot of it out there, and you will probably run into it. And that concludes this tutorial. I will see you in the next one.